What's up, everyone? Thank you for listening and watching the Juicebox Heroes podcast. I'm one of your hosts, PK. I'm joined always by our favorite Dubon fan club leader. His name is Chris. What's going on, my man?
Oh man, good morning to everybody. It's another Friday morning. It's been a week of highs and lows,
Yeah, for
not
sure.
just with the Astros, but personally, so again, Sunday, everything worked out. Took Benjamin to the Astros game. It was fantastic. The dude was he was a stud, man. He stayed the entire game.
Nice.
Then we got to run the bases and he was like, "Dad, I'm going to smoke these bases." And I told him, I was like, "I don't know, man. It's a little bit bigger than the field that you're used to playing on."
Right,
So
right.
he rounds first and he's gunning it. He rounds second. I'm like, "Uh-oh, he's getting gassed." He rounds third. I'm like, "Oh, he's done." He's done. Like we didn't even make it I don't think we made it 10 minutes from the stadium. He was already passed out in the back of the truck.
Sweet.
So, yeah, so that was good. I'm definitely representing the League City Giants. We the Cinderella story's over. We lost on Wednesday night, so we are officially done. But hey, the boys played great. We were the second worst team in in our league, but we ended up finishing third place. So
That's awesome, man.
yeah. So
That's really
what's been
good.
going on with you, man?
Nothing much, man. It's just I say nothing much. Really, it's just been all stars with my daughter, and she's got beach volleyball this weekend. Kickoff down in East Beach, so it is full steam ahead with all stars and beach volleyball. So it's every night's packed. I think Wednesday is the only night during the week where I don't have anything. So that's kind of how it's going, man. But one of these days it's not going to be like this. I try to suck up every minute I got and bitch to you about not having any time. So all in all, it's great though.
That's good. That's good. That's good, man.
But yeah, so we talked about last week. We wanted to do the Circle of Trust again this month. We want to do it every month, and what better time to do it than now? So I have a few
Dun,
names.
dun, dun,
Dun,
dun.
dun, dun, dun,
Circle of
Circle of
trust.
Trust for the month of May. So I jotted a few names down, and let's see what you think. And everyone listening and watching, I'd like to hear y'all's Circle of Trust players. Maybe we have the same, maybe we have different ones. So make sure that when you get on Facebook or YouTube, message us and let us know what your Circle of Trust is. Don't forget about Twitter also. So let's get started. All right. Well, can't go without saying Tucker. I mean,
That's a given.
the guy's leading the league in homers. If not leading, he's tied. Like he's captain clutch. There's nothing. All he's doing right now is just making his bank account fatter and fatter with every game that he plays. Like it's
That's
making it.
true.
And if you remember, we had the keep Tucker, keep Bregman early on in the podcast series, right, where we had to decide. Well, it's looking more and more like Tucker's got. He's got to be the guy, right? Don't you think?
Yeah. You look at, as long as he doesn't wear them neon green, cleats, dude, the guy's money. It's like he's doing everything that the complete 180 of what Bregman's doing. So it's just, I don't see why anybody right now can't tell me he's not the best baseball
Yeah,
player
no, 100%.
in the MLB right now.
Yeah,
So
and the thing is, he doesn't get any love. He doesn't get any love
no,
about being.
no, because everybody's all on Juan Soto and Shohei Otani, whatever, man.
Look, so
I
look, so
think
Tucker's doing. He's doing all Bregman stuff. He's old school, old Bregman. I say old Bregman, but a few years ago Bregman. Mashing, Captain Clutch, and he's even got the dugout swag after a home run. So look, Tucker's my number one. He's my number one guy right now. Our friend Andrew is probably just in heaven, thinking
yeah,
like happy that we're talking about his boy Tucker. So there you go, Andrew. Number two, I've got Ronell. Even though he had the suspension the BS suspension about the foreign substance, even in all his games, like you can count on him to go 5 innings easy, right? Like he's still been the biggest surprise we've had so far. So Ronell's definitely still in my circle of trust. He will get the start on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday will be his first day back from suspension. So we'll see him back on the bump Sunday, which is going to be awesome. Pena, freaking Pena.
yeah, I agree.
Like, I don't know exactly what his average is, but I think it's at least 350, 340, somewhere in there. And to be honest with you, I told you before, like, I've never realized, or maybe I didn't really pay attention to the fact that this guy is a freaking cheetah. Like
But
he
he's
is
fast.
fast, dude. like
Yeah.
dumb fast. And it's like almost any ground ball that he, rolls over or whatever, I'm like, he's got a pretty good chance of beating this thing out. Like he really does. And he's been clutch. His defense, I mean, I think he's fallen in love with the jump throws, but he still makes them look good. I mean, he's been a really big surprise. I mean, I'm glad he's made that, the stance change that he had because it looked like it's really paying off for him. So, I mean, he's crushing the ball. And then, of course, we have the, Old Faithfuls. Jordan, I know he's going through some things right now, but it's freaking Jordan. I mean, it's Jordan. How can you not, like, this guy's going to come through? I mean, this is just the thing he's going through. Maybe not the best time to do it, right? Especially with his position in the lineup, but I know you're going to get Jordan at some point soon. Then Altuve, I mean, I kind of had to be talked into this one. Me and you were kind of, BSing about it. And to be honest with y'all, I left Altuve off my list and Chris was like, "Oh, so no Altuve?" And I said, "Well, he's gone 0 for 12, I think, in his last like 3 games, something like that." And I get really frustrated with just the bullshit swings. Like I really do. And it's
Yeah.
like, like, why are you going to wait till the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning whenever you come up late to start taking pitches? Feel free to do that. Feel free to do that in the first or the third or the fifth. You know, like you get more than one strike. I'm just saying, or more than one pitch. So Hater is my 1 foot guy in, 1 foot guy out because I really don't know what you're going to get from Hater. Like,
That's fair.
but he's also doing.
But
He's
he's turned it on though.
He
He has
has. I
turned
mean,
it
he's
on.
he's he's been doing really good, right? He looks like the Hater that we were anticipating all season. Now, obviously, like his role this year has been different. I mean, which I heard something on the radio about previous contracts that Hater had. I don't know if I told you about this or not, but he has something written in his contract. I think for San Diego where he would not pitch more than 1 inning, like per game, right? Which was why he was getting seldom used. And then it would never pitch on back to back days. Like it was kind of like prima donna shit. Is
Yeah.
what it sounded like. And then, but of course, here I don't think he doesn't have that in his contract because Spada throws him out there for 2 innings at a time in a non-safe situation, mostly because we don't have anybody else to trust. But Hader to me is kind of like turning the corner to the point where we're finally getting the Hader that we expected for 95 million. So
Well, I think
those are my
the
guys.
whole thing that went down with Hater is that I don't think it was in his I don't think it was in his contract. I think it was more of like he told the coaches and the players, I'm only going to pitch 1 inning. And that's because I'm for my basically fuck the team. I'm going to do me because I'm about to be a free agent.
Yeah.
And now that he's gotten paid, he's like, yeah, use me as much as you want. I don't give a shit. Regardless, you're paying me 95 million. So,
Which we talked about that before, right? Where he finally has the security of
yeah.
like for 5 years. I mean, it's guaranteed money. So like, yeah, hell yeah, man. Like you're gonna pay me regardless. So
Yeah, so
throw me. So those are my
yeah, I
guys,
agree.
man. I mean, those are 1, 2, 3, 6 guys. 6 guys, 5 for Shores. Let's go 5.5 guys. 5.5 guys, since Hader has 1 foot in.
Okay. That's not terrible. I like it.
And if we wanted to do like another foot in, foot out, I'm starting to get the warm and fuzzies about Jake Myers a little bit. Like
Mm,
it's really tough to like put him fully in. But here recently, dude, like when he hit the ball, he hits the ball. He's been on a little streak.
yeah. No, he has. I mean, I think my circle of trust would probably be pretty close. I mean, definitely Pena would be in there, Tucker, obviously.
Right.
Um, Altuve, I'm only throwing Altuve in because on the past Sunday's game, I bought Benjamin an Altuve jersey.
Okay.
And right before that first pitch, I told him, said, hey, maybe he'll hit a home run for you since you bought his jersey. And then he hit a home run. So that made him really happy. So
And it was a bomb too. It wasn't
it was about,
It wasn't
yeah.
a cheap
I
home
mean,
run.
but then he has these swings where he drops down to one knee, chasing the slider that it's like Altuve. Why? I don't know if this is like your game plan to make it look like you're aggressive or
Right.
swinging at garbage,
Right.
but I mean, Altuve, I mean, how can you not have Altuve in there? I mean, even though he's 0 for 12 or whatever,
Yeah.
the dude's pretty much he's been carrying the team most of the year.
Yeah.
So Altuve, hands down. Uh, man, I agree with Blanco. I mean, I do want to see how he bounces back after the suspension. I mean, I've noticed his last couple starts, while really good. I mean, but he's still like, from what I've seen, he's slowly like stepping away from that more dominant starts that he's had
Yeah,
into being a very serviceable pitcher. So maybe the the suspension will give him more time to rest his arm, whatever. But I'm okay with Blanco being in the circle of trust.
you
Uh,
think the pixie dust is kind of fading off?
I don't know. I don't want to say it is, but I've just noticed that his last few starts, while they have been 6 innings, 3 runs, I mean, they just haven't been as dominant as his first two or three.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree with
So,
that.
and again, maybe it's because the other team's got more tape on him. Maybe that's what it is. But I mean, I still think he's worthy enough to be in the
Yeah.
circle of
Yeah,
trust.
for sure.
Um, I'm gonna throw Hater in there, just because how money he's been the last 4 or 5 outings. Um, I mean, for me, my fringe guy would still kind of be Seth Martinez. I
Yeah.
mean, he's definitely held it down as far as, and I'd even say another fringe guy for me would be Taylor Scott as well.
Yeah. No,
Um,
I'm starting to get the warm fuzzies on him too, man. Like,
I mean, these are fringe guys. These are
yeah.
guys that you look at and you're like, he worries me, but it's hard to not acknowledge the 2.1 something ERA that Taylor Scott has.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, all right, you can come in only halfway,
Yeah.
only because of the ERA.
You're only allowed on
Every
Sundays. Rest
Yeah,
of
you can come in on Sundays,
yeah, yeah.
but I mean, everybody else. I mean, everybody else is either kind of fallen off or they've stayed the course.
Yeah.
So I would say another rising person. Not quite yet in the circle of trust, but he's definitely getting close to where now he's on the same street.
Mauricio Dubon.
No, I
Okay.
was going to say Spencer Arrighetti.
He's getting
Um,
there. He's getting there.
I thought he pitched really well his last start. I just wish the spot didn't send him back out there for the seventh inning.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Like, I don't get why you have this young pitcher. Clearly, that game on, I don't remember what day it was. No, it was Sunday. It was the damn game that we went to.
Hmm.
I mean, these young kids, take them out in the sixth, let them finish on a high.
Yeah.
Their confidence is at an all time high. Let them finish. Let them leave the games. The game was out of hand.
Yeah.
So there's no I mean, I get, oh, we sent them out there. Maybe you steal another inning, but let them finish. Let them finish with a stat line of 6 innings and 2 earned runs.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a good stat line.
Yeah.
And then you can build confidence off of that. Don't send him out there to give up 2 more runs, or don't send him out there to put 2 runners on base and hand the ball over to fucking Abreu to
Oh,
give up those two
God.
runs. I mean, so it's just like that. Those are one of those games where you look at his ERA and it's like, oh well, it's still almost 8. But yeah, I mean, like, he shouldn't have been out in that seventh inning.
Yeah.
It should be like 650 instead of 7, 8, whatever it is now. So those are my guys that are on the same street. They're just not invited to the Circle of Trust house party yet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're the annoying
Right.
neighbors.
Yeah.
They're like kind
No,
of
I
cool. They're
mean,
kind of cool sometimes. Like sometimes they grill really good. And you're like, man, they would be cool to hang out with.
yeah, it's like right now they turn on the street. They just haven't found a place to park yet.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's a
It's
good
like,
one.
oh, so now we got to circle the street a couple times.
Yeah,
Hopefully
yeah.
somebody left. So,
Maybe one day they'll see us and they'll invite us in.
it's
uh,
like there's room in the driveway. They won't let me
yeah,
park.
there's all kinds of room. Well, dude, I like it. I mean, I agree. I agree with a lot of the ones you had. So again, guys that are listening and watching, let us know what you think. It'd be cool to kind of compare and see what the differences are. Um, some good news: Rangers got swept by the Phillies.
Thank you, Phillies.
Thank you, Philadelphia. Although Philly is dirty, dude. They are
Well, then, I don't get it. I
like
don't
they're
get it.
good, man.
They're the same. They're essentially the same team as they had last year,
Yeah,
and they're
bums.
stupid good.
They were bums.
Stupid
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
It's like
They're dirty. They're dirty.
every time I see Bryce Harper, I just wish he was wearing an Astros jersey.
But then you wouldn't have Tucker.
No, he plays first base now.
Oh well, now I mean, yeah, now, yeah, but that means we would have had him as a right fielder, moved him to first base, so we still would have been out of Tucker.
Yeah. So then who we wouldn't have? a guy we're going to get to here in a little bit. So stay
Let's
tuned.
not. Let's not. Don't rain on my parade. It's early in the episode. But yeah, so look, the Rangers get swept by Philly. That means that we are a game and a half out of second
All right.
amongst all the bullshit
Yeah.
and the disaster of a season that we started off with. We're a game and a half out of second, and we go this weekend tonight with Oakland, 3 games with Oakland. Then we got the Mariners, which is going to be a massive series, or again,
Yeah, it's a
right?
huge series.
But thank you, Philadelphia, for doing God's work on the East Coast. Whoever's next for Texas, y'all just do God's work also. Help a boy out. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we got to handle our business at home, or not at home. We just got to handle our business, right? Like you got to go to Oakland, you got to sweep them, got to take 2 out of 3. Go on to Seattle, 2 out of 3 at a minimum. I mean, you have to. Like you have to keep winning.
Yeah, and Seattle just came off of a series against the Yankees where they just lost that series. I
Yeah,
mean,
and they
so
were getting hit. I mean, they were like,
Logan, that Logan Gilbert, that same pitcher that blanked us,
yeah,
the Yankees treated him like trash. Like
yeah,
I think by the time I looked at the line score, like he'd already given up 7 runs in the first 3 innings
yeah,
or something like that. So I mean, like they're kind of struggling too. I mean, but like you said, I agree. The Astros got to take care of this shit. I mean, like this bullshit of dropping 2 games to the Angels, which we'll get into that.
uh,
So we're not.
yeah.
So I mean, again, that could have very easily been a sweep.
Oh yeah, thank you, Victor Caratini.
Yes. So, like I said, we'll get into that series, but it's just these games. Like I thought we were. I don't want to get back into it yet. So go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, no.
We'll save
So
that.
I think what we'll start doing, we should start doing every episode. Maybe I'm just throwing this out there. Is we pick a AAA player for the week.
No, well, I mean, this is going to be easy because it'll be the same
And
one.
it's easy for you because you know everybody. There's a couple.
Well,
Let me see a
you
couple
don't
guys.
even have to know everybody. It's like, let me guess, Pedro Leon. All right,
Well,
next week,
well,
let me guess,
that's the
Pedro Leon.
easy one to start off with. But I'm still going to
Let
give
me
you.
guess.
Uh, I'm
Okay,
still
I'm ready.
go ahead. So he hit another home run last night. Right, that's 10. Which, by the way, I didn't realize that Loper Fito's 13 home runs in AAA like is still the lead, like the leader. Like that's amazing. But yeah, Leon goes yard last night. 10 home runs on the season. He's got 51 ribs, 44 games. Like I don't know what's gotten into this kid this season, but I'll take it. It's just unfortunate that our outfield is just super deep, like already. So it's going to take an injury. It really is going to take an injury or a couple of them for him to see anything.
Well, I mean, it goes back to, and I think we talked about this back on one of our what seems like many moons ago, one of our first couple episodes where they told Pedro Leon going into the spring training that he's no longer going to be the super utility guy
Yeah,
and that he was only going to play center field. And I think they interviewed him and he was like, playing all these multiple positions, I guess it added so much more pressure on him because he had to, and I don't know if it's just because he had to learn all the other positions, but he didn't really have a home because
yeah,
one day he plays short, one day he plays second, then he plays center field. But now he's just straight center field, which
mashing.
I bet, yeah. So maybe that's what it is. Some people can handle that super utility role, some people can't.
Yeah,
And it's just like I said, it sucks because it's like I'd like to see him up, but again, and I don't want to get too much into it because we're gonna get to where I'm gonna be leading with my next comment.
yeah,
I don't want to see him up right in the pine
yeah. There's no point.
like somebody else who should be an everyday starter, but he's right in the pine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's gonna be like he's gonna be.
Yeah.
I don't really see how he gets playing time except for days off or White Boy Chaz. That's really the only way. Or Myers. That is it. It
I don't
sucks.
know.
It's stupid. That's a
Yeah.
whole another thing that we're about to get into,
Yeah.
fellas and ladies. So
I'm trying to hold it together.
hold it back, man. Just hold it. So yeah, so Pedro Leon, AAA player of the week for this week. Probably gonna be next few weeks, but let's just see what happens. So yeah, we had the Brewers over the weekend. Took 2 out of 3 against those guys. That was we talked about in last week's episode that the Brewers were, leading the AL or NL Central. They were a good road team. They're playing a little bit better than I kind of figured they were going to be, coming into the series. But dude, we handled our shit, man. Like we handled
Yeah.
our shit. I think the Peralta game, was that the only game that we lost? The Johnny Peralta pitch, or was that the wall? That
What the Wandy probably because I think we won the first game
yeah,
and then we lost the second game. And the third game, that Sunday game was just a beatdown.
yeah, it was awesome. I mean,
Yeah, it
so
was fantastic.
it was a good way to get them out. But yeah, look, man, the Brewers, we needed it. We needed that to continue the momentum, going into that weekend. So great series win for us. We flipped the page from the Brewers, and we got Anaheim coming in, and we're like, hell yes, just keep the ball moving. And then we drop the first game, and you're like, okay, it's okay. We got Framber going next. Let's, we'll pick this thing back up.
I thought we won the first game.
Number one,
No, Fromber was the first game
that was a 6-1. I thought that was the second game. My bad.
because we beat them the second game in extra innings, and then they
You're right.
beat us 2-1.
You're right. You're right.
So,
Yeah.
without further ado, I know you've been chomping at the bit. PK, tell us what happened in game one with your boy Fromber.
Well, we'll start off with the good news is that we jumped up on their ass. Fromber is looking like Fromber, like the real Fromber. Ground ball
Okay,
fucking king,
I
right?
like it.
And it's like 6-1, and I'm like, oh, cruise on into the dub. Let's just
Yeah.
get the 27 outs. Let's move on to the next one. Let's keep this ball rolling. And then the fifth inning happens. And then it's like he's throwing like batting practice balls up there, seeing shakeoffs, which to be honest with you, I was like, I didn't know at the time, like what the fuck was going on. Like I thought maybe he was tipping his pitches. Like I really did. Because that's what it looked like as far as like all of a sudden they're gonna hit the ball like this. Like all of a sudden. Like they've been hitting ground balls, and now in this fifth inning they just wanted to, okay, we're gonna mash this guy. And come to find out that this fucking clown said, hey Diaz, I don't really care what you're gonna call. Your boy is gonna take over the call and I will throw what I want to. And then he does it for what, nine runs? It was 8 run, fifth, wasn't it?
7 run fifth.
My bad. My bad. I don't want to give him that extra run. My bad. But it's like not only that, like okay, like so we're gonna talk about a couple things, right? Number one thing would be the fact that Framber just like, what are you doing? Like
Yeah.
why did you decide to go rogue? That's one. And number two, why in the hell did Espada leave him out there while he's
Mm,
getting roped?
mm.
And it's like,
Okay.
so look, I'm to the point where I don't even know if Espada knows what we're doing here. Like, I mean, I really don't. You look at the Arrighetti thing we were talking about earlier, right? Where, like, why send him back out there? Why push him out there? Like, he was kind of, what you've been getting with Arrighetti for the, 6 innings. Hey, good quality start, get him out. Bullpen, you go take it to the house for us. And then
Yeah.
when he stays out, you see what happens, right? Fromber, okay, hey, once you give up the lead or tie the lead, hey, man, it's over. It's a wrap. Hit the showers.
No.
No, Fromber, you stay. Let's see if you can get your way out of it. I don't know. It's just not. I don't want the loyalty thing. I don't want the player thing. Like you're doing something and you're getting shelled. You're gone. Hey, bullpen, again, come save us, right? So this is spotted. I'm so tired of a spotted. Like I really am. Like I think he's soft, spineless. Like I don't know, man. But that look, I can go off into that too. I know we're talking about Fromber going rogue. I know you have
Yeah.
some
Oh.
great shit to go on.
Yeah.
And the other thing that pisses me off is like I understand that these guys are professional ball players, right? I get it; it's their profession. But the next day, like I don't expect these guys to carry over their emotions to the next day. Like I don't expect them to be pissed off because they sucked at the plate, or pissed off the next day because they sucked on the mound, right? The perception of it was that the next game, Fromber's in the dugout cutting up, laughing like everything's good, like Gucci, and it's like, no, man, like you're I don't know what you're doing, what you're thinking, like get out of your head, whatever. sports doctor person you need to go to, you need to go back, because whatever you thought you like, it almost seemed like he wasn't taking the game serious. Like he was cruising along, and he's like, "Oh, let me just try this. No, I'm just going to try this." And it's like, "No, you're getting shelled." But that's when Diaz, and that's another thing I'm sure you're going to talk about. I'm probably stealing some of your thunder, but
A little
that's
bit.
that's that's when Diaz has to come out from behind the plate and say, "Hey, look, quit shaking me off. Stick to the game plan. Let's get back on track. Don't shake me off." So, well, I'm getting riled up, man. But I want to hear your shit because I know you got some good stuff. So send it.
Okay. All right. I used to play catcher, and one thing I fucking hated is when my pitcher would shake me off.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you want to shake me off? Hey, fastball's coming. That's me, right? Because when you're a catcher, you're pretty much the quarterback of baseball when
Mm-hmm.
you're playing catcher. For those guys, so for anyone who's listening, so the equivalent to playing quarterback in baseball is catcher, right? That's why so many catchers go on to be managers, right? So with them having that game plan saying, listen, Framber, cool fucking story. You're going to do what Diaz calls.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line. Bottom line. That's it. Nope. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. High five it. Go do it. What should have happened was after that 3-run bomb was given up, which made it 6-4, the pitching coach and Diaz should have went out there. And if I'm Diaz, I'm like, Framber, what the fuck are you doing? You don't shake me off. The game plan was you do what I tell you to, you throw what I tell you to throw. Bottom line. Why are you shaking me off and deciding to go do your own thing? Look at the scoreboard. Are you
Yeah.
happy now?
Yeah.
Are you happy? And then the pitching coach should have been like, hey guys, what's going on? Hey, asshole over here is doing whatever he wants. He's shaking me off, not following the game plan. Hey, Fromber, cut that shit out. Then he should have walked back to the dugout and told Espada, warm somebody up right now.
Yeah.
Warm somebody up.
Mm-hmm.
And that lead should have been, that whole Fromber saga should have been over at 6-4.
Yep.
So that's my main thing, is that if you have a game plan, right? But what it boils down to is that if you are a manager, right, whether it's little league, high school, whatever, you should command respect from your players,
Mm-hmm.
right? For a man that's been in this organization as a bench coach for 5 years, 5 years, and now you can't see my hand, 5 years,
Oh, there it is.
right? You should already have that respect from your players.
Yeah.
So the fact that Fromber was comfortable enough to go out there and just be like, cool story, I'm going to do what I want because whatever I'm doing, which wasn't what he was doing because he was taking the pitches from Diaz, that to me shows that Espada has I wouldn't call it intimidation, but like if he really was the man in charge, I don't think that shit would have flew.
Right.
It wouldn't have flown at all. Because I guarantee you that when I played, if my coach was like, listen, you're going to do this, and I say, okay, then I say, cool story. I'm going to, try to bat left-handed today.
Yeah.
And I would know that my ass would be grass the second I walk back to that dugout. So it ain't worth it.
Well, they're going to find someone who will stick to the game plan.
Yeah,
That's what would have happened,
exactly.
right?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, so like the fact that Frommers can go out there and just go rogue shows that maybe there is not the respect level that we thought he was going to have because he's been the bench coach, or maybe they only see him as okay bench coach. I mean manager. Sorry.
That's a great point,
I
though,
mean,
dude.
like Espada needs to man the fuck up like ASAP.
I told
I
you, dude,
mean,
he's soft, bro. He's
I mean,
soft.
we talked about this last week. I need him to be a little bit more gangster. Like I need him to,
He's some Aaron Boone. He needs to
yeah. I
be
mean,
some
we need
Aaron Boone.
somebody that's gonna let these players know. Listen, if you don't want to play by the way I want to play, I'll find fucking somebody who will.
Yeah.
Good luck having fun in Miami.
Yeah.
Because that's where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
If you think you're going to the Yankees, cool story. I'm going to send you to the
Washington to the Nationals.
I'm going to send you to the Pirates. There you
Oh, that's
go.
a good one. Yeah.
Have fun with that organization.
Yeah.
So that frustrates me on like 4 different levels.
It's a
So
lot, dude, because it's
yeah,
a complete fuck.
it shows a lot of disrespect.
It's
And
it's a middle finger to the coach.
It's a middle finger to the entire team
Well,
because
that too.
look what happened with that game.
Uh-huh.
And we saw last year how even though it's early in the season, one game
Yep.
can mean a lot,
Yep.
right? If the Rangers don't blow one game last year, they win the division and it's us going through the wild card,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
One game can be everything. It could make or break you. If we miss the playoffs, God forbid, by that one game, this is going to be one of the games that we go back and look at.
Oh yeah. No, 100%.
So
All I know is that I went to handle some business for a little bit, and it was 6-1, and when I came back, it was 9-6 or 8-6,
yeah,
and I had to immediately go on Twitter and be like, "What in the fuck did I just miss? Like, what did I miss? Like, I wasn't even gone that long." So,
yeah. I mean, but it was a combination of Framber, the pitching coach. Diaz needs to grow some pair of nuts
yeah, he
too,
does.
and Espada. Espada, like I said, the second that they found out that he was going rogue, they should have automatically warmed somebody up, even if it was just to finish an inning.
Yeah,
That's what I would
I
have
tell you
done.
what wouldn't have happened, and the one player that I miss, you're probably gonna know where I'm going with this, but the one player I missed in that particular situation that would not allow that to happen, that's a Carlos Correa moment again.
Yeah,
That's a dude, that's a dog on the infield, a real team leader to
yeah,
go to the mound and get in his ass. I mean, put his finger in his chest like he did in that playoff game.
yeah,
Get the
yeah,
fuck back on the game plan.
yeah. What are you doing?
What are you doing? And it's like
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't. There's
like,
not really, and it really seems like there's not like a true like leader. At least on the, it doesn't look like it on the field. I'm sure Tuve's a leader,
there's not.
but
I
he's
mean,
soft spoken. Like you need someone that's got some fire in their ass that has the same level of respect that from the other his teammates to where he can get into someone's ass and then they don't get butthurt about it.
yeah,
We don't have that.
yeah. They need that guy that when he checks you, you walk and you think, and you're like, man, I must have really messed up for that guy to check
Yeah,
me,
I let that dude
right?
down. Right?
That's the guy that you need, and I agree with you 100%. Correa was that guy,
Yeah.
and maybe last year Brantley was that guy, but and again, you have you know, uh, what's it, Altuve.
Boy. Today, Junior.
You got Altuve. I mean, but he's the leader. Why? Because he's been here since 1912, right? I mean, so he's here out of his service time.
But I don't see
That's why he's.
but
But
I don't see him.
Altuve's not the guy that's going to
No.
get in your face and
No.
get you a nice little good chest poke and
Yeah.
tell you to hey unfuck
I mean
yourself.
give
Let's
him
go.
give him the knife hands. They don't
Yes.
knife hands. Like I don't see any of that.
Yeah. No. They need to bring that bulldog on there. That's gonna be
Yeah.
like, listen, what are we doing? You stop being stupid. Listen to your catcher. Obviously, he's leading you in a good way. We're up 6-1.
Yeah.
Well, we were up to
We
six to
were
one.
until you decided
So
to
stop
think.
being a fucking moron and just
Yeah.
follow the game plan,
I know.
right? To go back to football, do you think if any of those guys on the Patriots decided to go rogue on Belichick, you
Yeah.
think that shit would fly?
Yeah.
Hell no, it wouldn't.
First.
And that's the difference
Yep.
between a championship caliber manager and a bench coach, essentially.
Like in all honesty, I know that you have your feelings about Dusty. Okay. But for real, like take your haterade hat off for Dusty.
Give me a second. All right, I'm ready.
Okay, that's a new hat. I like it. Okay. If Dusty was the manager, like for real, do you think that shit would fly?
No, fuck no.
No.
I mean, like I said, again, I'm one of PK will tell you, I'm one of the biggest complainers of Dusty Baker.
Yeah.
But when Dusty Baker needed to get gangster, he got gangster. But again, he garnished the respect by just
Yeah.
his presence. That shit would have never happened.
Uh-uh.
You think Framber would have pulled that shit with Dusty? Hell
Not even
no.
close. Not even
No.
close. Wouldn't even thought about it.
And that's the difference between having a bench coach being promoted because he's been here the longest, and as much as I personally had my personal feelings against how good of a manager Dusty Baker was, but again, he was a guy that commanded respect.
Yeah.
When you walked into a Dusty Baker locker room, who ran shit.
Well, you knew that he was
Right?
going to have your back.
Yeah,
Like he's
and
old school,
he's old school.
and
He's going to have your back, but he's going to do shit in your best
Yep.
interest, even though
Yeah.
at the time you might be too upset to notice it.
Yeah. Yep.
So if he gets in your ass, it's like, man, Dusty had to get on my ass today.
Like I
What
fucked,
did I do
I
wrong?
fucked up.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah,
fucked
I
up.
fucked up.
I zigged when
Yeah,
I shouldn't
so
have zagged. Right.
yeah,
So
so to be real, that shit wouldn't have flew last year.
I think with Espada, man, like I just don't see him being that demonstrative ever. And I'm not saying you have.
No,
I'm not saying you have to be demonstrative to command respect, right? But sometimes look at NBA coaches, look at the NFL coaches, like coaches on these professional levels, like they will do something outside of the norm, which is get into the ref's ass or the umpire's ass, right? Do something crazy, right? Like get mad crazy to let their team know, hey, I got your back, right? Like to kind of change what they're thought of, change momentum, change the thought process so the guys get on board with what you're trying to do. And like we can go back to the Rennell thing. Like Espada just stood there and thumbed his ass while Rennell walks off the mound. And like Espada should have been furious with the fact that Rennell was getting bounced for that. He should have gone out there and been furious with Framber on the mound and in the dugout. Maybe chase his ass down the clubhouse, down the hallway. Like, do you understand what we're trying to do here, Framber? Like, you do not go outside of what we game plan. There's a game plan for a reason.
yeah, yeah, and I'm not saying you have to go all Ray Knight
No,
and
you don't. You
fucking
ain't.
choke your players.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
but
It was Bobby Knight, but that's
oh, Bobby Knight.
I know
Oh,
where
my
you're
bad.
going. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but what I'm saying is that like again, I just don't see that level of respect
No.
because if he had that level of respect, Fromber doesn't do that shit. Fromber says, "Okay, here's a game plan," which I would think for someone with Fromber who is as mentally fragile as he is, the less he had to think about would be the better. But I guess here's the thing, Fromber, you're not JV.
Yeah. Yeah.
End of
Yeah.
story. You're not.
Well, didn't
Okay.
Framber do this shit during the spring and spring ball? Didn't he call his
Yeah,
own pitch
and he
and he
got
got
fucking
rocked?
clobbered. He
Yeah.
got clobbered.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Listen,
then he
you are
stopped.
not JV. You're not Justin Verlander, right? If you were so goddamn good, we wouldn't have needed to bring JV back last year. All
Right.
right?
Right.
Newsflash.
Yeah.
Follow the game plan.
Yep.
And if he continues, hey, watch what I can do, fucking trade him. I don't give a shit at this
Yeah.
point
Send him.
because I'm tired of his fucking bullshit.
That's
It's
right.
like that was a series that we should have easily have gotten,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Should have swept their ass.
Easily. And you hand again a fucking 5-run lead.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because watch, Kobe, and look
Yep.
how that shit
Yeah. Let
happened.
me throw my change up and hang it.
Yeah, fucking stop it.
It's fucking annoying. And then the other thing is like they gave up the runs in the fifth, and then we don't do shit until the eighth. We don't start to put anything together until the eighth, ninth inning. We got runners on. I think we scored one. I think in the ninth. Um, but it's the same shit. It's like why are we coming up to the plate in the later innings, and now we decide to be more conservative at the plate, and now we want to take pitches. Now we don't want to be aggressive. Like like why get to that point? It's the whole thing. I mean, it started with Fromber. Like it started with
Yeah, I
Fromber.
mean
It's
that inning with Fromber pretty much, I think, deflated the entire rest of the game,
yeah,
right? And
yeah,
then the fact that you know nothing was really done, right, outside of letting him finish that god awful inning, instead of going up there and saying, okay, hey, listen to Diaz. And like I just said, Joe, fucking warm somebody up right now,
yeah,
ASAP. We need someone who's going to be ready by the next hitter.
yeah.
And then, then maybe you salvage that in and you get out 6-4, 6-5, but you still have the lead, right? And then, you don't leave, you don't leave that inning being down by 2 runs.
No, no.
So, yeah, I
It's
mean,
good
like I
shit.
said, it tells me that Joe Espada does not have control of this team.
Yeah. So maybe
That's that.
maybe that report a few weeks ago about him being on a couple high profile players, like want him gone. We talked about it a few episodes ago. You
Yeah.
know,
I mean, that was kind of, kind of see the clouds
yeah,
move aside. You see the sunshine.
yeah,
I mean, it's not surprising after that. I mean, I have seen, like I said, we've seen him get mad with the umpire one time. He's been ejected once, and it was the nicest, okay, here's my lineup.
yeah,
where Dusty almost had to have 3 police officers take him out during the ALCS last year.
Yeah.
He was ready to fight all the cops,
Yeah.
right? That's a play. Granted, it's a playoff game, but it's like still, you command no respect. I just see him. Maybe my thing is, I think the players see him as one of the guys,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's the worst scenario to be in when you're a manager,
Mm-hmm.
is being seen as one of the guys.
Because they don't listen to you. They don't listen. They don't respect you.
Exactly.
Right? There's
Yeah.
no hierarchy for who's in charge and what we're doing here. Right? Oh, we
Yeah.
just can do whatever the hell we want, and it was evident that night, and it cost us
Yeah.
the damn game. And look, it could have cost us the whole freaking series. I mean, if it wasn't for Caratini didn't, walking us off, then we're getting swept. That would have been look the Angels winning that series was the first series they had won against us in the last 8 series.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Like you have dominated this team for a minute, and these guys come into your house and do what they did to you. Like their closer, Estevez, I think is what his name was.
Yeah.
Like, is not good. Like he's not good. Like we were on base, we had so much traffic with him both times he came in. And
Well, it goes. I mean, it goes to, again, got to hit with runners in scoring position, right? And then it bleeds over to the final game of that series, where, I mean, if Pena hits that ball a foot and a half higher, it's a
yeah,
home run.
yeah.
If your boy doesn't get thrown out,
Oh,
you know,
being greedy
yeah,
at third.
yeah. If he doesn't get thrown out, maybe it's a different game. I mean, but
But you still only put up 1 run against these guys.
that's what I'm saying, is just like, even though those two things, it shouldn't take those two things,
Right.
right? You lost 2-1,
Yeah.
right? It's not like you lost 9-0 and we're nitpicking. Well, Dubon sucks,
Yeah.
But it's like, it shouldn't come down to that. But again, it's like they were like, what, 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position,
It's back to what it was.
and stop putting Bregman in the cleanup spot.
Oh God.
Just stop it. Stop it.
Move his ass back down.
You move him down, or tell him to put the fucking headband back on.
Yeah, like why take it off?
I don't know. I've always been under the impression, baseball superstition, if you do something and you get 2 hits, then you do that again.
Mm-hmm.
And you continue to do it until that superstition dies. And then you move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Right? I don't understand this. Oh, I hit 3 bumps, I'm good now. And then he goes back to pop-ups to the shortstop. I mean, he did, I'll give him this. He did hit a couple of hard hit balls right to the center fielder. There was a couple of them that actually made the warning track, but he looks lost again.
You want to know what a slash line is?
No, I don't, but
All
you're
right.
going to tell me
I
anyway.
sure as hell am. This will be the last 8 games since moving back to the cleanup. Okay.
Okay.
129 batting average.
I know that's what I want for my cleanup hitter.
That's
129.
exactly what I want for mine. 200, 200 on base. The OPS is 190, or OPS is 194. So it's not what you want.
That's no bueno.
That's not what you want for your number 4 guy, and not a guy his caliber. So again, we're at another crossroad where, what are you going to do, Espada? Like you're now
nothing.
You need to move his ass back down again.
He's not going to do anything. I guarantee you, tonight he'll be hitting in the number 4 spot. I bet you.
Oh yeah, no facts. And then on Saturday or Sunday, you're going to have your boy hitting 6 or 7, playing first base. The one they call Jose Abreu.
Why are they doing this? It's like, this team is like, what, 10-4 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
In the 14 games that Abreu's been, I guess went on his fishing trip for the first 2 goddamn weeks, and then all of a sudden he wants to do BP, then hit off
an 18-year-olds.
Hit off of 18-year-olds, right? Why do you mess that up?
I don't know.
Why? Like, it's just like stupid shit like this over and over. It's like, why do you mess with the mojo of this team? You're okay. Like this mojo that we had with Loperfido and Myers playing center and left. Man, I'm about to go. I'm about to spider web out.
See ya.
Like, what are we doing? Like, this poor kid Loperfido has shown you no reason for him to be 2 on 3 off, sometimes 4 off. If you're not going to play him every day, send him down.
Yeah.
Him right in the pine, even though he's sporting a fucking 320 something batting average right now, is not going to help him develop.
Right.
Send him down.
Yep.
I mean, because he hasn't played in the last 4 games. I don't think he started at all in any of the Anaheim games.
No, he was late
He
inning. He was a
last
late
he
inning
last
runner
played
guy.
he last started on Sunday,
Yeah.
and it's Friday. And if he's not in the lineup, which he's not going to be because they're going to put Chaz right back in, who looks a little slow right now. So you're telling me we're almost going on a week with Loperfido not playing,
Mm-hmm. And it's
and
gonna
it
get.
blows my mind.
It's gonna continue.
It blows my mind. And then now you're going to bring Abreu up, and they've already said not only is he coming back, he's going to start.
Yep.
Now again, I'm not saying that John Singleton is fucking Roger Maris and he's hitting 60 home runs.
Be a lot cooler if he was, though.
It would be a lot cooler if he did, though. But at least he was, doing shit when you could count on him for a walk.
Yeah. You
And
count on him
then
to do a lot more than what Abreu was doing.
and every now and then a home run.
Yeah. A monster one too. So at least it looked good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, dude, they're gonna. And I
and
told you earlier in the week, like Espada on an interview. I think it was before Wednesday's game. Said that like Abreu has to play when he comes back. He has to play. We have to see what he has. And it's like
you saw what he has. You already saw
he
it.
just hit like 200 against an 18-year-old. What the hell do you think he's gonna do? Against major
Well,
league pitchers, man. Like
they came out and they said that I think this weekend, instead of him coming straight back to the Astros,
yeah,
he's going to go play in Sugarland.
he is. No, he plays today.
So what's going to happen is he'll play. They'll probably keep him there maybe for the weekend, maybe. And then he'll be back just in time to fuck up that Seattle series.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. So, I mean, you can't put any more automatic outs in this lineup. You already have Bregman holding that down. He was like, Abreu left. Someone's got to be an automatic out. I'll take it.
I got you guys. Yeah.
So now you're going to have him and Abreu.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 2 out of your 7 hitters that are right now automatic outs.
Yeah. Yep.
While Singleton sits on the bench. Loperfido sits on the bench. Dubon sits on the bench. Caratini sits on the. You're going to have a fantastic fucking bench.
But the bench can play, man.
So unfortunately, your starters can't do shit outside of, the guys that aren't going anywhere.
Look, if this was fantasy football, our bench would be scoring a lot of points.
This was fantasy football, we'd be in last place right now.
That's true.
Fucking last place.
All right, so Abreu goes up. Who goes down?
Is Kessinger still even on this 26-man roster?
I thought he wasn't until I saw him in the huddle after the walk-off.
Is he the designated guy who dumps Gatorade on the guy who walks off?
No, he's the bubblegum guy.
Oh, lame.
Yeah, he couldn't even he couldn't even do the Gatorade.
He didn't even get upgraded to the Gatorade guy.
No, hey, dude, you get the bubblegum. Oh, Kessinger's still on this team, which whatever.
Well, I mean, what would make the most sense is now that Chaz is back, you send Loperfido down, let him continue to get everyday at bats. That would be the smart thing, right? Because there's no point in keeping him up here if he's going to play once every fucking 10 days.
Yeah.
So send him down in AAA. Give people in Sugarland more of a reason to go see those games. Because now you imagine him and Leon back in the same lineup, mashing.
Oh yeah, that'd be badass.
Oof.
I think if Myers wasn't playing the way he was playing, and I'm not saying they would send Myers down at all. I'm just saying
no, they're not.
Well, I know they're not, but I'm just saying it might make for discussion if Myers was playing like shit, like normal Myers, not doing what he's been doing lately.
Yeah, Mr. AL MVP Myers all of a sudden.
Yeah, all of a sudden he wants to hit, right? So
yeah,
it's a really shitty situation. Like it really is. I mean, and I was talking to a guy last night at softball, and we were talking about the same thing. Like who's going down, and he said the same stuff that we're talking about. Like Loperfido's giving you zero reason to go down. Cabbage has already been sent down because Chaz is up. Someone's got to go down because Abreu's coming back. But why stick him in the lineup, dude? Like Like he's proven that he can't catch up to major league pitching, and then he's still like he's not crushing. He wasn't crushing the West Palm Beach League. Like he wasn't
No,
impending.
the last time I even looked at his stats, I think that was Wednesday, and I think he had 18 at bats. He had 6 hits,
Yeah,
no home runs.
he did hit a
I
home
don't
run.
even
He did it yesterday.
Alright,
So
so
he
yeah,
did.
so
So
like I
he
said,
did.
I looked Wednesday, so no home runs. I think he had scored 2 runs. I think he walked once, and I think he struck out like 6 times.
It doesn't
So,
impress me. Whatever. Like it didn't matter if he went down there and went 8 for 12, right? Or 13 out of 20. It doesn't matter. Throw whatever number out there.
yeah.
It would not impress me because you're supposed to hit those guys down there. They are in complex league, which, by the way, I had no idea it even existed.
Yeah, it exists. There's one in Florida, and they have one in,
Arizona,
I think
probably.
the Dominican. They have another one there.
Okay. Okay. So what I'm getting at is that like you should be hitting those kids, like because they're kids. Like you should be
Yeah,
hitting them. So
yeah.
I don't know, man.
It
It's. I don't know how this committee is thinking. I mean, clearly, like
well, it's clearly there's one head that's making all the calls right now, and it's not Dana Brown. I don't e it's not Reggie Jackson.
Jeff
I
Bagwell's
don't even think it's
really
Crane. I think it's Bagwell.
like
Bagwell's becoming the, that guy who overthrows the government, but not in a good way. He's
it's
becoming
just
that guy.
like it's like Bagwell. Like I have got really good memories of you with the
Yeah,
Astros,
and you're
and
fucking it
you're
up
really
at
fucking them up.
a high rate of speed.
I mean, like hold my beer, guys. Watch this.
It's like, "Stop it. Why can't you just go back to, sitting right behind home plate?
Yeah, with Bidge, just y'all just
Leave
go
it
sit
at that."
there and do nothing.
Yeah, sit there, talk about how, you're Hall of Famers and none of these guys are.
Yeah, these guys suck and all that shit.
Just enjoy it. Yeah,
Get
just do that.
on the Space City Network and call a few games. Like
I mean, just because you're a Hall of Fame first baseman does not mean you have an eye for talent.
right.
Simple as that. Or an eye for developing talent.
And look, if you think about it, most of these badass hitters don't. Like from a coaching standpoint, like McGuire tried to be a hitting coach. Like, come on, man. Like,
Terrible. Barry Bonds too.
yeah, because they don't know how to. It just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't
Yeah.
work that way. So I don't know. It's I'm curious to see what's going to happen this weekend. Like, it's just going to be enough enough of a shit show for us to have a really good episode next Friday. I feel, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, but what I honestly think is going to happen is they'll send down Kessinger. I mean, because you have Dubon that could play all the infield
Yeah.
positions. So, I
And like
mean,
you need to see what you have in this kid Kessinger. I mean, I don't even know what we have in him. Like the kid never plays. Like I feel like from his, if it were me, if I was Kessinger, I'd send my ass down so I can play. I'm here to play, not pick up.
well, I mean, yeah. I mean, like if you're definitely a player, you're like, I want to play.
Right.
But then on the flip side, it's like I can go back down to the minors and make 80 grand a year, or I can sit here on this major league roster
I mean, I guess.
and make about almost 800,000 a year and throw popcorn or throw the bubble gum at the whoever walks off.
Yeah. I mean, you're
I just
right.
got to make sure my arm is stretched out so I can. Yeah, great
Yeah.
job, Bertini.
I don't want to pull a muscle throwing the bucket.
Yeah. So
I mean, I get it.
I mean, I get it. I mean, but that's what they'll do. They'll probably send him down, and then we'll sit here again next week because Lobofito will play one more time in a week,
Uh huh.
and then I don't know. I mean, I'm also interested to see because like at what point, like I'm willing, like I'm waiting to see at one point as if Abreu comes back and does complete nothing, is the home crowd going to start booing him? That's what I'm here to see.
They should. We should. The thing that I don't want to have happen is I don't want this clown to show back up and automatically start hitting again. Like that's what I don't want. And I don't mean that. I mean that in the sense that it's false. It's false hope. Is what I'm getting at. If he comes back and starts a hot streak, where he's like what I'm saying, like he gets on a hot streak and starts
Yeah,
hitting,
kind of
like
like what he did in the playoffs
right,
last year.
which is exactly. it's like everyone's gonna say, "Oh man, great! It was a great job for him to go to West Palm. Like, look what it took some time off, blah blah blah." Now look at him, and it's like, no, 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 no. This
Yeah.
is not it.
Let's promote Bagwell to assistant GM.
Yeah, like no, like let's not have that. Like I want. I'm here for the booze too. Like it would be,
I
I'm
mean,
here
yeah,
for us to win. But the fans are the ones that like we're the voice, right? Like the fans are, and you have to voice
yeah,
your displeasure with what your club is doing. Not that they don't have to listen to you, obviously, right? But like we're the ones that buy the merch, buy the concessions, buy the tickets. Keep supporting this club, and like you're gonna run this guy out here who can't do anything, and like that's the downside of having such high expectations is that everybody on the team is supposed to be worth a shit, and right
yeah,
now you got two guys that aren't worth a shit, and you're paying them
yeah.
a
I
lot
mean,
of
like
money.
a lot. Yeah. I mean, but the thing is that like they're not doing any favors either. I mean, because like you look at Abreu has zero fucking value.
Hmm.
I mean, teams aren't going to trade for him. They're just going to wait for you to DFA him,
Yeah,
and then they're going to sign him for the
yeah,
league minimum
yeah.
while you're still paying him $18 million a year. Bregman, I mean, as much as I love Bregman, and it's hard for me to hate him because man, he's such a good. The plays that guy makes at
I
third
know.
base, just. But it's like you're not. I mean, but at least going back to what you had said a couple of episodes ago, if you're not going to hit, at least be a damn good fielder.
Yeah,
He's holding up that half of the end of
he
the
is.
bargain,
He's the
so I'm
freaking vacuum.
okay.
He's the vacuum down there.
I mean, like, but these guys are not providing you much value offensively or trade market wise either.
Yeah.
Not saying they would trade Bregman. I don't see that happening. Well, he'll be another guy that we lose for nothing. But yeah, this Abreu shit, like I'm in it with my popcorn. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. I mean, and hopefully it works out. Maybe he goes in, he does mash, we go on an 8-game winning streak. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Look, I would
I
love,
mean,
like you said, I would love for anyone listening and watching to message us on Twitter or Facebook and say, "See, guys, you guys don't know what you're talking about," and then we
yeah,
would remind you that you're correct. We're not
yeah,
we're not your local experts. So
yeah,
I mean, look, we need to go on a run again, right? Like, the team's clearly capable of doing it. I mean, they are, and it's got to start again. We got to, you lose that 2 out of 3 against Anaheim. Now you got Oakland coming, tonight. Like you just took care of business with them at home. Do it again,
yeah,
and then get into Seattle, and then let's get some games back because those games against Seattle are full game games. They're,
yeah.
they're big games. So
They're big boy games.
big boy games. So and then I don't want to stay up late to watch us lose. That too.
Yeah, I mean, well, at least it's over the weekend, so at least you don't have to get up
Well,
early
the
the next week.
Seattle. Yeah, I mean,
Oh, Seattle, yeah,
yeah,
Oakland, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Tonight's gonna be a rough game because we got to get up at like 5 and drive to Dallas.
So yeah, we'll be. I think we have to get up around 5:45 to be down in
Yeah,
Galveston for a volleyball tournament all day Saturday. So yeah, I feel your pain, except
no,
not really because I'll be
yeah,
shorter drive.
yeah, a lot shorter drive. Yeah, it's like I already told Mandy. I was like, oh, I'm fucking dreading this drive.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I'll
Well,
sit
cool.
here and just like,
I think
try
uh,
not
I
to.
think that's about it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a good balance of good stuff and negative stuff, even though it seems like the negative stuff gets us more hyped.
It does. Well, there's more passion. There's more passion with the negative stuff, man. You know.
Yeah, I mean, there is. Hopefully, again, we won't get told that we're the bad news bears. I thought we talked very highly about Kyle Tucker, so
Yes. Yeah. We should get a like for that.
I think we should definitely.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, man, I agree. I mean, they just got to go out there and take care of their own stuff. I mean, the Texas is helping you out, Seattle's helping you out. You could have helped yourself out against the Angels, but you got Oakland, then you got Seattle.
Yep.
So I would like to go at least 4-2,
Yeah.
at least. But you're definitely capable of going 5-1.
Yeah.
So I
Absolutely.
think 5-1 is the bar. 4-2 is the bar, but that's the low bar. I want at least 6-0, 5-1
Yeah, I agree.
these next,
Need it, and we
and
need
then
it.
let's take the division back.
Let's
You
do it.
know, and then put the heat on everybody else. So, but guys, thanks again for all you guys that take the time out to, not only listen to us now, but if you take the time to watch us, we drop new episodes every Friday. We try to put out shorts here and there or reels, depending on what platform you're watching them on. But we do appreciate everybody that takes the time to watch and listen. Um, Everybody that interacts with any type of post that we make on, any type of social media platform, both of us are reading them. If it's not, if he's not, answering them, I'm trying to answer them. And again, anytime you want to listen, provide some feedback, positive or negative. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Um, and again, guys, PK, you got anything?
No, I just want to tell everyone to have a safe Memorial weekend this weekend, and Chris, y'all be careful going up there to Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Grapevine, but it's close
It's
enough.
the same thing.
It's the
So
same
just
thing
make
here.
sure you wear all your Astros gear. Okay, that's it.
Oh, I've already packed all of Benjamin's and Logan's Astros
There you
gear,
go.
so they're gonna be representing.
Attaboy, attaboy. But yeah,
So
man, thanks to everyone listening. Everyone have a safe Memorial weekend, and let's go Astros, man. Get some wins.
yeah, guys, have a fantastic holiday weekend, and we'll hear from you guys soon. All right, guys.
Talk to you later.